Greetings and salutations. Thank you for lending an ear to The Voice of the Times this Sunday, January 31, 2021. For today's editorial, latest Revillame incident shows need to address character flaws. A recent incident involving fans of entertainer Willie Revillame reminds us that a mendicant mentality remains ingrained in the Filipino psyche. There ought to be a national discourse on improving our national character and purging parts of it that are plainly pathetic. A few days ago, on the eve of Mr. Revillame's 60th birthday, nearly 1,000 of his fans trooped to his condominium building before dawn. They wrongly believed, based on rumors on social media, that the showbiz star would be handing out money to well-wishers. Local government officials scrambled to maintain order and reminded people to little avail about physical distancing because of the pandemic. Later, Mr. Revillame released a message apologizing to his fans, saying he also had nothing to do with the fake reports. Even if he was as much the victim as his fans were, the incident evoked memories of the tragedy in 2006 that also involved the entertainer. Back then, Mr. Revillame was to host his show in Phil Sports Arena, also known as Ultra. A large crowd gathered before the program, hoping to be among the lucky audience, but many of them became agitated after an announcement saying only a few would be allowed in the Pasig City venue. That triggered a stampede that killed 73 people and injured about 400 others. An investigation followed. Cases were filed, but in the end, the Supreme Court cleared Mr. Revillame and his then-home network, ABS-CBN. For both the 2006 and 2021 incidents, some argue that the poor are being exploited, but we take issue with that argument. First, mendicancy is not limited to the poor. Just look at the rent-seeking practiced by the wealthy and politically connected. Second, there would be no or few victims to exploit if Filipinos generally had more pride in themselves and were made of sterner stuff. Why should Mr. Revillame bear all the blame? One could also argue that politicians exploit the poor by giving doleouts or by being paternalistic just to win votes. Instead of deciding whom to blame, we should perhaps focus our attention on improving ourselves. About the Filipino dream, we need to foster a new mindset, a can-do spirit, or perhaps a new work ethic. Some might argue that Filipinos are already known for resiliency, referring to our ability to recover quickly after natural disasters and to smile amid grinding poverty. That may be true, but something has to be done about making people believe in self-reliance. We actually have plenty of role models to inspire us. Filipino rags-to-riches stories are arguably more common than some might expect. Of course, there are the Chinese Filipinos such as the late Henry C. and John Gokongwei Jr., who became fabulously wealthy despite their humble beginnings. But there are other examples. Senator Emmanuel Manny Pacquiao rose to global fame by harnessing his boxing skills. Others used education to get ahead. For instance, Education Secretary Leonor Briones fondly tells us that as a young girl in Negros, she sold the Manila Times for added income. Former Supreme Court Justice Arturo Panganiban was also a newsboy for similar reasons. Another inspiring example comes from the life of former President Diosdado Macapagal, the poor boy from Lubao, a tag referencing his rural roots. It seems noteworthy to add that despite his political achievements, his image remained intact. A biography about him published in 1965 was titled Macapagal the Incorruptible. Most Filipinos have heard of similar success stories, even about those who have not risen to such prominence such as those mentioned here. Our point is that there is a Filipino dream that is as real as the fabled American dream. Granted, not all those who work hard and make sacrifices become famous or rich later in life. Those who make it often benefited from at least some luck. But there are many definitions of success. All of them share a common thread, that is, the ending showed an enhancement of one's sense of self-worth. In contrast, there is no dignity in waiting for handouts, be it from Mr. Revillame, politicians, or whomever. If ever there was a social malaise worth addressing, it is mendicancy. And that's the editorial for Sunday, January 31, 2021. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to our digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and listen to The Voice of the Times.